Hi, I'm Ron, and I want to know what interesting research topics there are at the TU Ilmenau, which is why today I'm visiting the Electronic Media Technology group. So now I'm in the Electronic Media group next to Georg Stolz. Can you introduce yourself and the department?
Yeah, my name is Georg, and we work here on virtual acoustics. So what we're trying to do is to replicate the acoustics of real rooms in, for example, virtual reality or augmented reality, and yeah, try to do it as plausible as possible for the listeners.
Interesting. So what projects are you specifically working on?
So my thing is basically doing a lot of measurements to compare like simulations and that kind of stuff to the real acoustics in rooms. And for that we have this robot here that can drive to a lot of positions in a room and do a lot of acoustic measurements, more than we could do by hand. And yeah, that's my thing, like maintaining and doing measurements and data sets and that kind of stuff.
In what kind of rooms do you do those measurings? In the labs?
Yeah, we do measurements in our labs because that's always very convenient because they have controlled room temperature and controlled acoustics. But what we are really interested in are basically the acoustics of where people are every day. So we also did measurements in offices, for example, or in living rooms and that kind of stuff. These are often, acoustically a bit more interesting because they're not acoustically treated, so it's a bit more complex to simulate these, for example.
Since when have you been working on the project?
It all started with my master thesis, so like 3 years ago. And yeah, that was the start of the robot, basically, like getting it to do what we wanted to do. And since then, I try to refine it and make it better.
Is this whole research only theoretical, or are there already any practical implementations into the real life?
There are. When you look at augmented reality, that's where this is really important, like the Apple Vision Pro and that kind of stuff. There they need this kind of technology to have virtual sound sources with you in a room.
Is there anything else you want to let the people know? Maybe a fun fact or a key fact?
Sure, if you're interested in audio, generally, you're at the right place here in our research group. So if you're a student and want to do mixing or recording stuff, or like more advanced stuff, like these kind of measurements and that kind of stuff, then you can always talk to us and get access to our labs and, yeah, do funny things there.
Okay, one last question. Is there a task you particularly enjoy, maybe a favorite task?
Well, yeah, especially with the robot, because like usually the audio stuff is a lot of programming in front of the computer, but with the robot, you always see when something works, it moves and the light blink and that kind of stuff. So that's always fun when it works. And when it doesn't work, then it takes some time till it works again, and then it's fun again.
Well, I've gained some exciting insights today, and hopefully you did too. That's it for the video. Until next time, bye!